The checks come through the city.
City, yes. We just have to reimburse them. That's part of our joint share operations. Okay. Jumping over to the next page, other funds. As you can see, these are the other funds that basically just flow through for the county. Funds generated come in, and also some funds that we, for example, the solicitor's fund, we actually appropriate $483,479. That's been our number for the past couple of years. His budget, of course, is at $2,921,000. That's the county's contribution to his particular line item. And then others are pretty much revenue neutral. The public defender, we appropriated $225,000. That's the same as last year. What I want to draw your attention to is the fire district. See the little note at the bottom, the fire district, we're proposing a millage increase this year to the cap, the 1-year cap, which would generate for the fire district. One increase would be from 28.9 mils to 29.5, so less than a mil. In fire district 2, from 17.3 to 17.6. This is the 2.11, was it? 2.11% increase we're allowed this year based on the Act 388 cap that's been presented by our association. That'll generate roughly $46,092 for our districts. Any questions on that information? Okay, and a little bit more conversation about the capital. I think last time I mentioned to you that we had just over $12 million in requests. We went back and checked, there were a couple of departments missing. So now our requests have gone up to just over $14.2 million. And what we're proposing, which is allowable based on the bond information we've gathered from there, $3.5 million are capped this year, stay within our 15 mil capacity. So what you have on your left column is what was requested, and what you have in the right column is what the administration is recommending for approval. I won't go through each one of the line items, but I want to cover the big ones that are in this budget.
But me, you might have to cut another million somewhere.
In the capital?
Yeah.
Okay.
$3.5 million cap, and you could propose them $4.5 million.
Well, we've got other funds that are paying for some of those capital requests. I'll talk about those in just a minute. We've worked it into the $3.5 million, plus we have some solid waste fund reserve and some solid waste and road user as a fund balance, so we're able to use some of those funds to pay for some of the capital items. So, right now, what we're proposing is a balanced budget. Bigger items, and of course, if you look at EMS, those light packs, we discussed that briefly at the last meeting as well. Those are critical to the operations of those ambulances, and we have to replace 12 of those. You can see that's $519,000. Also, instead of we've allocated just one new ambulance this year, we did purchase 3 last year and a couple more before that, so I think we're pretty good on that fleet, but we need to try to keep pace. And seeing that we got a large purchase with those line packs, we thought we could just fund one of those and just 2 of the power stretchers for the EMS operation. Fleet request, we still have the 15 committed vehicles from the Sheriff's Department that we've been working on for the past few years. That also includes the equipment that goes inside these vehicles. So we funded all of that, and we also have a couple of one more vehicle for the fire department and 2 other department vehicles. I'll skip over public works and come back to that, because that's where we basically talk about using the solid waste fund in a combination of a couple of them. Oh, that's more road user than that one. Yeah, public works is more road user than landfills with our solid waste. In public works, again, using road user, $127,000 from the road grader, 2 of the backhoes, and the John Deere boom mower. Those of you aren't familiar with the boom mower, that's the one that has the long arm that goes along and trims the edge of the ditches and fish banks and stuff on the side. Road. We have 2 of those, and one of them seemed to stay in shop all last year, which caused us to fall behind because both of those kind of run with the grass cutting crew. So we really need that piece of equipment to help keep pace. Hopefully reduce some of those calls on the grass cutting.
A question,
Yes.
on the water, we don't actually have a water park, but under our 2 water districts, do we have our own equipment for those districts?
We do.
We have a backhoe for,
Yes.
for them separate from the person.
Now, in the case of an emergency, where one of those are down, then we will substitute one of the others. But that's an emergency situation, that we'll do that on the equipment. Okay, let's jump down into the landfill. This one's a little bit complicated. You can see the cost of that compactor, and that's probably, as Eddie puts it, that's the most important piece of equipment we've got on the landfill. It runs 7 days a week for its operation time. And then when it goes down, basically we're at a standstill. That landfill building backs up. This is what allows us to get as much space in that landfill hole that we have. So, very important piece of equipment we've been putting off now for about 3 years that I'm familiar with purchasing it. So, as tough as that $747,000 bill is to swallow, I think it's necessary. So the way we propose to cover the cost of that, so the solid waste fund has some fund balance. We propose to use $250,000 out of the solid waste fund. Then we could propose to use another $250,000 out of our county general fund allocation. This is our fund reserve. We haven't talked about using any of that so far, so this will be the first time we've mentioned this, using $250,000 out of our county reserve fund. And then the balance, the $247,871, would actually come out of this capital bond request. So that's how we propose. Is that right?
Excuse me, you will sell the old one,
This is the buyback
the
program.
funds from that, where they go?
I think the price is already built into this, but I'll check. That's a good question. Usually it's a buyback program,
You trade
trade it in and the balance is simple, so. It's a good job. But that's a good question. Steve, we'll follow up on that. Usually it's on the buyback program.
So Karen lists those out. Karen will list what the item will cost and what the sellback is and what the final cost will be, and these numbers are based on the final cost.
Let's move on down to the detention center. We noticed that back when we purchased all those radios, remember a couple years back in the capital media sales tax, there were all those radios purchased for all the different departments. For some reason or another, the detention center, we had EMS, we had fire, we had police, we had sheriff, but EMS didn't get those radios. So this is to purchase radios in the detention center. It will match up with all the other units that we have, and that's the need is 40 of those, so that's $171,000, that's good. And you can see some smaller items for the detention center. Public buildings, you can see they requested $500,000, but we're doing is on $223,000. $170,000 for the detention center. That's to replace. We have 2 other large air conditioning units we need to take off the roof and put on the ground. I think that's the last 2 out there. We've been working on that for some years. This will finish up the air conditioning AC projects at the detention center. The administration building, the 372, has to finish off what we started over there. We've had to do some change orders and make some modifications and change the visual, some furnitures and some carpet in some areas that were damaged during the construction. So $372,000 to finish off that project, which should be complete sometime in July. This is another big item, the Sheriff's Department detention dispatch radios, dispatch software, I should call it, $406,000. A couple of years back, dispatch changed over the technology in the dispatch office. EMS and fire and police already moved to that format. This is to move the sheriff over to that format. It gives them a whole lot more capacity and capabilities in regards to dispatch in our units, individual units themselves. So this is, we felt like this is probably coming in, this is a request from the sheriff's department to do that whole platform, I should say. So we've got that building. Again, all the rest of them are fairly small in comparison to the large ones. I think we're covering what we would consider all the big public safety issues, which would be a foremost priority for us. So we're covering all of those, and if we're able to fill in with some of the other department needs. Certainly, we could not address all $14 million of the request. Some of the other projects we would possibly be able to move to next year when maybe we don't have some of these large ticket items in place like we do this year. But that does cover the $3.5 million for our 15 mil bond capacity. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Go ahead and complete your thought, I just have a question.
I was just kind of, with this does pretty much cover the $3.5 million bond capacity that we have, and then it also fills in some of the other funds. We'll use it, and only filling in with about $248,000 roughly of our reserve fund that we can finish out most of that contract.
I just wanted to ask, on where everything is itemized, and we have the request column, and then the recommended column, where those spaces are, that means that nothing is being recommended for those items.
Most of the situations, Mr. McKinney, it's even all of it. I think you can't give them a portion of it because they want to put the project in one-time capital purchases. So, well, there are a few items in there we might get about one or two of them. But again, the greater need we just do was some public safety issues. That's laid up. If you look at just Sheriff, it was over $1 million and $3 million.
I also wanted to ask, on the revenue side, is there any consideration for the amount of revenue that is generated by having the federal?
Yes, we already have that.
Is it on?
It's not under capital, this is just capital. So this is just talking about the $3.5 million bond capacity that we have. The other monies are represented in our revenue stream for our general fund.
I see. And so those funds cannot be utilized for some of these requests?
Well, that's a tricky question.
No, I'm not trying to be tricky though.
No, I'm saying, I mean, basically you're accounting for all your revenues. So we have 15 bills that are earmarked for specific use only. This is capital only, so that's why we prioritize that $3.5 million there. And that's why the detention, capital and all that is built in here, in that capital. Now, the revenue that's generated by the inmates, federal inmates, we would consider that the regular operating revenue, which basically offsets any tax increase that might be necessary to offset the additional operations. Does that make sense? No, it's complicated.
Well, and what I'm thinking about is that when we were first informed that we would have river inmates, that it would generate some revenue, and that, I was thinking that it would be utilized differently. And that's
I think I understand. So it's not necessarily additional revenue. Instead of raising tax millage on property, we use that millage from the inmates to hold that tax millage down. It's all revenue in, revenue out, not just detention stuff.
And courtesy to the sheriff, is he aware of that? Because I can recall that there were some conversations about and some misunderstanding or perceptions about how those funds would be expended. And I'm just of the mind that in courtesy of him being an elected official as we are, for him to be able to come to the table to discuss those things so that he can be a part of the decision and planning when they are, presented for consideration.
I understand how that's what you mean. I would look at it as the jail is the county's jail.
Yes,
And
yes.
so any revenue generated by the county jail would go to the county, not one department. And that's the administrator's perception on that particular issue as opposed, because it's all revenue in, all revenue out, expenses out. So if we are generating, for example, I'm just going to use ballpark, do we have any idea what federal means?
It's around 700.
Around 700,000, that operation at their cost, $1.2 million or something, or $2 million potentially.
If you're not including wages, the department as a whole does not generate enough revenue to cover the expenses they have. So it is taxpayer offset.
I understand what you're saying. It's not additional money, it's money to cover the operation. That's the way we look at it.
Okay.
If not, it would be a tax.
I get it, and I remember our last meeting, the personnel we were dealing with it. You know, what y'all were using with some of the, federal money.
Well,
It seemed like that's where you, it seemed like
It's-
y'all had
it's used as
something on
federal.
there saying you were getting so much.
it is,
State,
it was
federal,
accounted for in our
personnel.
revenue stream. We did talk about federal inmates and how much money they're generating. But again, it's not additional money, it's money revenue, but just like for recreation parks, for example, would be another example. Any money generated by the recreation park goes to the county overall and used to offset operational costs. Same concept with detention, any revenue brought into the detention center, helps offset any costs associated with the detention center.
My second was, all these radios, I remember what, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, we spent a ton of money on changing this
The digital
whole
format.
system around, and
We did.
did y'all tell us that we were going to come back and deal with this again? I mean, it seemed like we were taking care of it all, because that was a big chunk of change
It
we
was a
used.
big part of the capital payment sales. tax.
Yeah, and I was just trying out, I mean, you're talking what, 300,000 at least for radios and stuff, that you're talking about we need to,
And
did we realize we weren't covering everybody? When we did
At
this?
the time that the capital penny sales tax was put in play, and that's what actually bought those radios, there wasn't a request from the detention center for radios. The current director didn't recommend that we needed them at that point, and he didn't use those radios. Now, the sheriff, again, wants to change the platform and start using, which I think is the right thing to do. We've looked at it, there is a need for it, but we've got to pay for it. I will let you know that already part of the conversation for the next capital penny sales tax, if it comes about, there will be additional, all the radios will be purchased again, because they have a life expectancy now of somewhere between 5 to 7 years. And they're changing the format. And once they change the format and the other format is no longer supported, then you're kind of hung out there with, and these are life safety devices. So there's not a question of should we, it's not a need. So that's already being discussed. This will fulfill the rest of the need from now to the capital penny sales tax, which is 2023. And then, of course, the other large purchase is changing the whole
But
format.
this covers it all. We won't have anybody that should.
Till 2023, we should.
We need some more radios to.
I didn't anticipate this one, but, yes, sir. Councilman Baker, I think this will probably tie in. I think that covers everything on the capital. Any other questions on the capital? This is a very difficult task. This year's was really difficult. Normally, we'll have one or two what I call big ticket items in a capital request, but this year seemed to be 3 to 5 of those what I would consider significant major costs. And still, we were able to, based on some of the other funds rolling off, we were able to go up $3.5 million, but still, we're still a little short. Okay, I think that covers the major areas.
We have one question.
Yes.
Have y'all considered or leaning on the possibility of phasing in the wage increases over 2 years?
Must. Phase it in however you want. It's not just a call. That's the direction we have to change this budget. Speak quickly to the revenue stream. That's where we usually start the budget process. We've got to determine to the best of our ability to get a grip of what we think the revenues will be, based on direction from council and also looking at our current revenue streams, where they're, how they're flowing for the year. We did talk about the 1.5%, the tax is going up $1.6 million in total. That's including $2.5 million increase, which generates about $721,000. 1.5% growth in the tax base, which is another $95,000. Then we have some delinquent tax revenues that we can't afford each year. That's going up by $149,000. Vehicle taxes going up by $253,000. That's one we're watching closely, because our estimate is stronger by the end of this year, because again, because of the state's cut off their penalties for tax, license renewal, now everybody's going to push back for the taxes. But we will get that, it'll just come later in the year, so we're having an estimate based on previous years where it's from.
Is that normal, $250,000 increase every year on vehicle taxes?
Did you trim that information? Is that what you got to know?
Yes, and that's also in, because of the bill increase as well, so.
Well, increase on that.
That includes the $2.5 million, right?
Fee and lieu will go up about 100, motor carry up about 140, and then collection cost based on the numbers of restrictions we got about another 7,000. Then a governmental increases of 128, with the biggest portion of that being $100,000 of treasurer anticipates with the new fee. If you went up,
It's $100,000 to revenue offset. She has an expense.
associated with that revenue. License and permits was a small 35,000 increase, and a slight increase in service revenues. Fines, forfeitures, that's down significantly, $178,000. General fines went down by $90,000. Court fines are down by another 40, right at $50,000, $41,000. Family court's down by $20,000. 340 to 320. Probate judges is down by $15,000. So you can see, I guess the reason I'm telling you all this, there's some other ones. The reason I'm telling you, you can kind of get an idea of how closely we're looking at each individual account and trying to figure out where the estimate or where the revenue should be. Some of it may have been overestimated last year based on our current collection rate, so we've had to make those adjustments. So overall, it's a pretty tight schedule. We'll get into more discussion at our next meeting prior to second reading on some details of those revenues and details of those expenditures and some of those specific line items. But for tonight's purpose, and I believe Madam Clerk, tonight will ask for this to be a title only in the first reading. We'll mention the numbers of that balance amount of $171,000. Still a lot of work to be done. We're rechecking our numbers here and there. We're hopeful that if we can keep the 2.5 deals in play for the salary adjustments, and that's just for the coverage, nothing but wage study adjustments. Again, that's the Sheriff Department Detention Center and about 23 other positions in the county. So that's all of them, based on the wage studies recommendations.
Zero COLA.
Zero COLA, there's no COLA.
Nobody's getting raises, so.
No COLA built up this time.
Certain group.
At our last meeting, we discussed this, 2 mills we're going to cover on the way.
That was before we got these other expenses, particularly that $300,000 company liability insurance. That was the key behind it.
So part of the 2.5 request covers that too.
No, the 2.5, last time what we did was we used 2 mills of tax increase and the other half meal worth of funds, which was $150,000 roughly, meals worth 288, so.
Yeah, 288.
So So we actually cut money in our budget to account for that. Now with this other expense coming in, some other expenses we've identified, we can cut and cover that difference. So that's how we increased it to 2.5.
Let me understand this. You're saying that we're not going to have a cost of living increase for the county employees.
At this time, we can't find it in our current budget.
Is that fair? I mean, I know, and I'm not supposed to be talking about this, but I know the study, we're raising salaries for the other departments. But in doing that, there are people who don't work in those departments who are entitled to something. I mean, inflation is going up and their standard of living is going to get worse. So we're saying that while we are picking up other people, we're going to say, to heck with you. We're not going to worry about you this year. And basically that's what we're saying. I mean, don't pull no strings. That's to say there are people that don't work for these departments that's not going to get an increase. People that work in the treasurer's department.
All the other county departments.
Yeah, all those other county departments. Solicitors, all those people are not going to get a cost of living increase.
Well, maybe we ought to talk about what y'all just said. Deal with the sheriff deputies this year. Deal with detention next year. And use that what we got for detention for the rest of the employees.
Well, like I said, I just wanted to make that comment because I felt that they are being the sacrificial lamb this year.
In order for, Mr. Chairman, in order for us to really make an informed decision, it would behoove us to look at the amount for allowing the cost of living allowance. And I would like to see what 2% values to and 3%. And I know we're proposed to do a first reading by title only tonight, but we still have a long way to go on this budget. And and we're going to really consider every aspect of this budget, and we need to look at what every line item will cost us and the amount. Look at all the possibilities, and then we'll be able to make a decision.
2% was around 396,000.
We need to hear those figures. That's 2% or 3%.
That's 2%.
2%. It's 396,000. Okay. And maybe the next time we'll have 3%.
Oh, yeah, you could just factor half of that's 1%, add that to it, 580,000, about 3%.
Well, they said that the ones getting the raises were not involved in it.
We ran that number for 4 different scenarios. And we can have those numbers again. When we start talking about expenses next meeting, we'll have that in detail.
Yes, we need to know all the possibilities.
One of the things I should also mention too is, we've all been watching the state government, local government funds, and while they're not projecting at this point, they did a continuing resolution, so they're keeping the same number in they kept last year. We're anticipating that when they come back into session sometime in September, they may make an adjustment there and give money back to, or send money to the local government fund. We haven't heard what percentage it would be. We know that at maximum it was going to be $220,000 increase over last year. That was based on the state's numbers and population. We don't know if they'll get back to that number because obviously they're now projecting less revenue than they had last year. But some fraction of that maybe, but we won't know that till September. And need be, that's the other conversation we've been having as staff is wait and see what that local government fund would be and then make a mid-year budget adjustment based on that number, because that would be additional revenues. We just can't build it in right now because we don't know that we're going to have it. But we're hopeful that we will, and then certainly we would recommend, if we get that it go all toward personnel costs. But again, we can get in a lot more detail when it comes to the next meeting, expenditures and revenue, probably less on the revenue. Different scenarios on the expenditure side, we can lay out this beginning, all those personnel related. Believe me, that's the hardest thing that has been struggling for all of us. While we certainly want to support, recognize the need to support the COLA. With the tax increase proposed this time, eating it all up in the wage study, it's just different. It's tough for us to do that.
Right. And have one more other, in order for us to make an informed decision again, you've already said the amount that you're proposing to utilize from the infrastructure fund, or did you say infrastructure? No,
The fund
from
reserve.
the county reserve.
Yes.
Okay. And I know that we don't want to do that. We're trying to keep our infrastructure fund in place. But we do know how it's generated, and there's always that flexibility for us to look at that as a source as well. So maybe the next time you can tell us how we're faring, and what we had to utilize this past year, because we didn't have a real a lot of activity or expenditures to come from that fund, I'm afraid, this year. But I'm just being arbitrary. But it would behoove us to look at that as well, look at all of our sources, and then we can make a decision.
We'll bring in that reserve fund account.
You can't use that COLA as a salary.
Infrastructure?
Or in general.
You can, it's not wise to do so because that's reoccurring costs and
But is infrastructure not reoccurring each year?
not infrastructure. We're talking about our reserve fund.
No, I'm talking about the infrastructure line.
You meant to say.
You got to say reserve fund.
But is that not a reoccurring money?
The infrastructure fund is restricted on how you can use it.
Fee and lieu, right? I mean,
A portion of that's being used.
so it's, you're always getting.
It is restricted on how you can use it.
Yeah, I agree with
The
that.
general fund, reserve funding, is what we like to call it, there aren't as many limitations or restrictions on that. The only caution there, just be alluding to is, that's one-time money. So you're using it up on recurring costs, it'll slowly eat away on your fund balance. So you just gotta be careful and cautious on how you use that.
Right.
Certainly you can,
Yeah.
and if you think it's just a small gap fill, then possibly a small portion of it. I know that we have in past years, we have used some fund balance to balance out the budget, and in anticipation that we wouldn't use it. As you know, that in past years, we've got a record of coming in under our expenditures, so we've been able to put money back in our fund balance. That's how we've been able to build our fund balance quite often. So while we made, but over the last 2 years in particular, maybe 3, we've been slowly tightening down on those expenditures. And also, we've been reducing our revenues, because we've been doing it, and if you look back at our audits, that's what we've done. We've overestimated our revenue, so we brought that revenue stream down. And we overestimated our expenditures, so we brought that number down. So now it's really getting to a real narrow margin. We're real cautious on that.
So you mentioned earlier that we would find out from the state what additional local government funding we might get. Say we do get it, and we use the fund balance to increase, could we take that money and put it back into the fund balance?
Good.
Yes.
The other question I have, are we going to entertain any increase in personnel like the Veterans Office, Solicitor's Office? Are we gonna, or have they asked for any increase in personnel?
I believe it was last year, we were ready to kind of hold everything at the same cost as last year, those departments. but there have not, I don't remember, Keith said there have been some requests. We're trying to hold the cost down where we were last year. If you want to entertain, we can certainly bring up that list, everybody that's asked for additional personnel.
Well, you know, and I don't want to get on my soapbox, but I am. Because, you know, yesterday we celebrated Memorial Day. We celebrated, well, not celebrated, but we had recognition for people who died, who gave their life in defense of this country. Those people are dead. But we have a lot of veterans in our community that served in wars, Vietnam, Afghanistan, Iraq, that have serious injuries, both physical and mental. And these people are asking for help to get into, to sort of manipulate the VA system to try to get services that they are entitled to. And believe me, from my own personal experience, trying to go through the VA system and get services that you're entitled to, and excuse the expression, is hell. And the only way I was able to get through it, I had to get a lawyer. And fortunately, the lawyer helped me to go through the system and get things that I deserve for injuries that I obtained during my service. Well, there are a lot of other people out there like me. And our office, Veteran Affairs Office in the county, cannot get to all of them because they don't have the manpower. They have a volunteer that's come there constantly, but he's not trained into that, and he's not there every day. All they're asking for is one person to help to get the services to thousands of citizens in this county who are just waiting to get help. And for us to say that we respect veterans, that's not a way to respect veterans. If you don't want to help them to get services that they need and that they're entitled to. And believe me, there are people out there with PTSD that you wouldn't even know what they're going through unless you go to one of these group meetings and sit down and listen to the struggles that they go through every night. So I just hope we consider that. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, didn't I not see where the state was going to fund the veterans in their budget this year? An increase to the veterans?
They did, so it's,
That was proposed and supposedly was in the budget before this budget.
You don't know if the state
several
did or not.
fund position.
As far as we know, it's still in there, it's just waiting on the regular budget to be approved.
What position?
The state budget, they had special allocations for the veterans offices across the state of South Carolina.
Okay. All right.
And again, that was teed up, ready to go through this budget process, and from what I gather, they had very little comments, no opposition to it, so we anticipated that was coming until this budget was held up. And now we don't know.
And also, there's money, they say, for the corner too, right?
Corner, they actually switched, I think they actually made an adjustment in this year's budget for the corner. It wasn't as much as they thought they were going to get, it was a lesser amount. That's what I understand from, I think, did y'all hear that as well? Heard that from Robbie Baker. It was reduced from what they were anticipating to start with. But that's the way it was built into this budget.
Yeah, well, you know, with this pandemic, and I'm not trying to be funny, but, you know, people are dying. And we're going to see more deaths. And workload for our corner is going to definitely increase. I think he's already up to the number of people in 4 months that we had all year last year, homicides and whatever, not homicides, but all the cases that he had to get involved in. So,
If I'm not
okay.
mistaken, Ms. Rogers, didn't he request additional personnel in the coroner's office?
So he requested it. Well, I think, and all I want to do is say those are real valid requests. And we as a council should sit down and look at what would be the impact if they don't get the help that they need. How would that help our citizens, or hurt our citizens? Really? Okay.
Mr. Chair, I believe you requested the Again, so to recap, what we're presenting tonight for first reading is a revenue of $50,571,084, $71,084, and expenditures of $50,742,592, for a deficit at this time of $171,508. That's what will be submitted, tied along the ordinance. That'll be the numbers used for the first reading. That's all I have.
One quick one. The drugs. That's all. 1.5% creates less than $100,000. Because I thought we had like 1.5%. Last year, the year before, with the school bid, theirs was like 800,000.
They get 2/3.
Two-thirds, that
I think
was
we've got more than
something clicking.
I want to say it's 2 or 2.5.
I ain't never heard you say 2.5% over drugs. You've always been scared to say, what did I have?
A little scared saying it tonight.
Yeah. I mean, it's something just, because if they're 2/3, because the bottom line, they were getting extra $800,000.
You're right.
And I don't know, it seems like that number
I
doesn't
want to say it's
calculate right to me.
We'll check that number again.
Yeah.
I think we've looked around the numbers quite a few different ways on that. That's the number we're coming back with. But we'll look at that again. Again, y'all, I guess y'all remember me to do all this time. I'm gonna, especially this stage of the budget process, be a little conservative on the revenue, so we don't have to be. And then we'll make adjustments there at the end based on where the budget goes. There's a pattern to this, but right now, this is, I think, where we need to be.
And I hate to be asking so many questions, but
That's what we're here.
I want to know, do we have any bonds that are about to come to maturity? And the other one, do we have any of our industries that might be nearing getting off the field?
First question, yes, the bonds, we do have some that are rolling off. That's what's allowing us to go to $3.5 million this year.
I was hoping that we had already.
We did cover that. We looked that closely, but that's what's allowing us to go to 3.5. Remember, it used to be 2.5, 2.5, 2.5, and then I think last year we might have crept up to 3, or right at 3, 2.8 or something like that. But this year, because we have some bond roll off, according to McNair, we have with 15 mil and the way we've got our debt structure, we can go to 3.5. So that answers that question.
And thank you for doing that.
Yeah, okay. We're turning over every rock that we can.
I see. And the other one was the industries.
Industries. I'm not familiar with any of them that's going to roll off. Jonathan's probably as familiar with that as anybody, but I don't think we have any that's rolling off. It was last year, I believe, the Continental actually came and switched from the 85% to the 8%. Credit.
And that's a help too.
That was a help. And the biggest portion of our growth, according to our assessor, Mr. Barfield, was part of some of the new revenue coming on for maybe phase 2, the phase 2 of Continental that went operational. So we saw a little bump there. And then the apartment complex out on Broad Street was another big bump. And then it was a small bump. Those are things that's identified. And we'll go back to him again and see if we can sharpen it up, if we can get it up and feel comfortable at 2%. instead of 1.5, we'll do that. But we really want the year to kind of progress, the next month, I should say, because we're still waiting on some numbers to come in. They usually drop in sometime in May. When that happens, May and June, then we can make a new estimate. We're looking at that.
The 1.5% growth is based on the total value of the real property in the county. 1.5% of that, 1.5% of our budget.
Can't be 1.5% of our budget.
No, I think it's based on that tax rate, isn't it?
Yes, so what I did for that was I took the current mill value, so for the current real, that's 244,100, I believe, times a 1.5% growth brought us to 247, and then took that times the 84.4 mills, well now the 2.5 mil increase. But then we have to budget off of what we're actually going to collect. We don't collect about 8% current.
We don't collect what?
So we're at 92% collection rate?
We're only at
Oh, we
92.
had to think at 94.
It fluctuates, 92.
96 one time, I remember.
It's about 92% that we collect current.
Y'all are.
We had
Sir.
brought it up to 95 one time based on 95 because collections were coming in so good. Why are they not coming in?
Conservative numbers. What'd you say the first thing, did you say the mill value was 248, is what you were basing on?
No, 244, that's just the current real, because the 288.
Current real mill value.
Right, and then to actually get a full mill value, you have to add the vehicle mill value in there, which is 42,000.
And then when you get to, how do you get to the 307 that were published, there's another number you include with that. Remember, we're always saying it's just over 300,000. That's what we published, but there's another number that factors in there. It might have something to do with the fee and
I
lieu.
mean, if you're sitting
The
here,
fee and lieu number is
say the
included.
value of our mill is 248.
No, it's not. It's the 244 plus the vehicle, but we have to break those down into two separate lines.
So what
the
those two
growth,
come together?
the
307?
288.
280, that's what I thought.
collected
288.
mill value,
And
yes.
then you throw in your fee numbers and you actually get up there a little bit higher, but that's not regular tax.
Well, it's not regular tax, but
It's revenue.
it's
But
revenue.
we account for it somewhere else.
What percent do we think that is? 20?
20.
Is any of it?
Remember, it comes off the top, remember we take,
Well,
he's talking, not fee, he's talking about the,
The 1% goes to the county, and
Yeah.
10% goes to the, infrastructure fund, and then the rest is obligated to right on all the taxing districts. So what's left is 2/3 of the schools and 1/3 of the county.
Yeah, fee lieu.
what was that percentage?
Negotiated period.
What was our percentage other than the 1% and then what percent? I said,
10% goes.
10%?
Goes to the, infrastructure fund.
I think it was 2, we were talking about that.
Because at one time we were talking about moving 25%.
Good question. I mean, and again, we try to think of all the different areas and most we hit on, but we don't. Guess we'll take it up and go back and look at that again and see if we can move that needle a little bit. Every little bit at this point helps. You know, something else?
Any more questions?
That's all I have, sir. Thank you.
Okay, we have a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion that we adjourn the budget workshop.